need to get a different one. Okay, I'm going to look at this other game. This is the last game of Team 45 League's playoff. The way the playoffs are structured, if there's a tie, they replay. You keep going. So in this particular case, White's team has draw odds. In other words, if they get a draw or they get a win, they're going to win the match. And, Black's team needs a win just to draw the match and force one more week where they go at it again. Okay? So sometimes when you're playing for a draw, White's team should be happy with a draw. When you're playing for a draw, the best way to play for a draw is to play for a win. If you try to play for a draw, sometimes you get you get the opposite result. You get a draw on a loss. So I'm not sure if that's the most fighting way to play for a win with Black. White should have no trouble equalizing against it. Statistically speaking, the best moves against e4 are either e5 or c5. Now, other reasonable moves, e6. If you're a good French defense player, you might run into the exchange variation, which will be pretty even, but let's see what happens. Okay, so now Black's countering in the center, so it could become a Sicilian if White plays knight f3. He took. Okay, so this is a little risky. This gives Black the chance to to create an imbalance in the position. See, Black's team should not fall Black if he loses this, trying to win. So a good move to make this position imbalanced would be to take this knight, and he doesn't do it. Now, let's examine this. Now, it's true that Black no longer has a dark square defender in the vicinity he wants to park his king. However, there are some triple pawns here, so we have to be careful here. Like, for instance, okay, Queen a5. Now this attacks two pawns. Now White could play Queen d4, which not only defends both pawns, it also creates an attack down here. So maybe let's see what happens if Black plays knight f6. Now Black doesn't have a threat at this stage, but White could create one. Let's see. Now the idea is to win a pawn. Let's see. So how can Black upset the apple cart here? I'm just trying to find a way to make the position imbalanced. I mean, it's already imbalanced, but I'm trying to make it more imbalanced. Let's kick the queen first. Okay. Now, if White wants to hold on to his pawns, he's got to go here. Now, let's see. Black may have a trick up his sleeve. Let's see. Knight takes. Okay, if Queen takes, this looks deadly.
Check.
We just have to make sure we don't get checkmated down here, which we're not. Yeah, White can't do this. So after knight f6, knight c6 is a legitimate threat. I think this line provides Black with an imbalance to play for a win. Now, he might lose, but what did I say earlier? Black's team shouldn't mind if he loses, because he has to win. A draw and a loss give Black's team the same result. So it's a little different thing about team play. You play, it's not your individual score. It's your it's not your individual score. It's your teams. Now, I had a case a few years ago. We were in the playoffs and we were playing really strong team. They had an IM on their top board, and I won my game. And then we had another guy on our team. He achieved a winning position, and he let it slip. But he had the mindset that he was winning and he needs to win it, and he overpressed. So, what he should have done was, I think a draw was offered to him. He refused it, and then he ended up losing. So the difference, we had two solid boards on our team that probably wouldn't lose their matches, and we would end up with a 2.5, 1.5 score. We had a guy that's capable of holding the IM down, and we had a good chance, but we lost the game, and suddenly we were scrambling to just to try to draw the match, and we ended up not even drawing it. We ended up losing it. So sometimes you're playing for your team, and you want to keep that in mind, that it's not so much your score, it's the team score. So I was looking at this move too, but this move is a nuisance. Let's see. Let's put the queen here. That keeps an eye on the pawns. But I don't know. This is coming, and black's doing fine here. So this is playable, but I like the queen a5. I like bishop takes. Now, white's theoretically dodged a bullet. He wants to keep the position even. Don't hang on to this pawn. Let black take time to get it. Queen a4, queen takes. What do we want to do about the potential of doubling of the pawns? Well, a good safe move is bishop d2 here. That's what he did. Okay, now the double pawns are gone. They're not going to happen. Now, I just, I'm so critical of these rook pawn pushes. I try to figure out what is black trying to do with this. Okay, white does not want to put anything here. It doesn't help him. Okay, let's say black developed his knight, for instance. Okay, now the only thing about putting a knight here is you want it in combination with this bishop here, so maybe you can give a fork, right? Well, white's already put his bishop on d2, so he doesn't want to put it on f4. So I don't see how this move helps black. Let's come back and play queen a5. Okay. And meanwhile, white's starting to get his pieces out. So is black. And now white does the same thing. I mean, this move is useless. I mean, guys, I understand you like to do these things, but this does not help your game. Black does not want to use the square. There is no advantage of him going there. Are you trying to, now to play e5? Well, black could play e5 right here. Now, granted, it gives him gaping holes in his position, but many variations. This is a Sicilian defense pretty much now. All we have to do is get rid of this pawn, and that's what it is. Black is doing okay here. I mean, this move is a waste, but yeah, I guess now we could say it keeps you out of the hole if this is your plan to play e5. But h3 does not help white whatsoever. What helps white? Development. You got, let's get this king safe. Okay, where do you want to put the bishop? You want to put him on c4? Eyeball that weak square here. Perfectly good place. If he wants to chase it, okay, we'll come back. We'll use it later. Okay, so h3 doesn't help white. Now here, black is committing to sacrificing a pawn. I don't think he has enough for it. He's had this opportunity to do this for some time. But now we have to watch out for an e5 push, because this move did take away a square from that knight. Now, white's won a pawn. Now what if he plays e5 here? And he does. So now that makes this move look good. See, black misses chance for e5 himself. So, black is having to play for a win. Now it's white that can start thinking about playing for a win. Okay, bishop c4. Let's hit this square. Okay, playable, but let's see. We're gonna go here. I guess we have to go back to d8. I'm gonna go there. Okay, that works. Now you put the bishop there, but the knight's blocking its path. Okay, so Swiss cheese on the dark squares. Now I'm eyeballing this square coming in here. But looks like this pawn's in trouble. Maybe black's wiggling himself out of this. See, this knight d5 didn't help white. Let's back it up. Although this pawn is under attack, maybe it's safer to play bishop f4 here. And now I guess just collect the pawn on e5. He did. Okay, so suddenly black is looking okay again. This knight d5 didn't help white. Okay, pins the knight. Let's see, what's black trying to do here? Double some pawns up. Okay, this will give black winning chances.
Check.
Now here we have some minor pieces traded off. That tends to make these things more even, right? Let's see, was white that initiated the exchanges?
Check.
Now, here, I think black should have played queen e2. Oh, wait, he wants to save this pawn. Never mind. Okay. All right, so he keeps this under guard. So, black is close to a tactic here. I just don't see it, though. I want to do something like this and then check the king. But, this bishop's unprotected. I don't see a way to get at it. Maybe black should play queen c5 and queen c6. But all of a sudden, I'm liking black a lot. I was thinking of that move, but I didn't say anything about it. Let's see if I got any comments. Yeah, e-pawn is loose. Let's get back to the game. The drawback with this move is it shuts this bishop in. So let's look at my idea. Okay, now let's see. I guess he can come back here and answer this with this. Okay, let's try to come up with something for... let's go make a threat. Okay, let's just do this. Now, how does white respond? Okay, he can't block safely. He either has to play f3, which is going to weaken his pawn structure further, or he has to play this. Now, let's think about trying to transfer this knight over here. Hit that g2 square. Let's see, so knight here. White's he's a little bit of difficulty here. Let's do this. Develops the queen, attacks this. Okay, I'll just castle for black. Now that drops a pawn, but I don't know. So let's hold off castling. Let's just go here. We're going to try to come in this way. Okay, let's centralize the queen. Let's break the pin. Now give up the pawn. Okay, now where can we put that bishop? I guess we can't, so we'll go here. Well, black has definitely got some activity here. G3 keeps the knight out. But, you know, I mean, both sides have winning and losing chances here. White's a pawn up, right? But doing that allows this to plant itself here. Now we got potential down here. You know, it's imbalance. Black has winning chances here. I think this just sets this bishop out of the game.
Check.
And with the queens off, you know, black's attack is over. So, game is even. Except black has a bad critter here on c6. Okay, white's trying to castle by hand. Maybe he should have come up to e2 and brought the rook over and dropped the king back. Okay, now if we move this bishop, we have a target on c2. Okay, this weakens this square. This might be a good move. It takes control of the center, but what if we go here? I don't know, let's see. Knight here. I don't know, that's a strong knight. Hit it, let's see. Looks like white's dropping his pawn. White's dropping a pawn here. We can take this. Now we have to cover this square. Let's see, we could go for the ending. You know, black's rook is, this rook is better than this rook, and these rooks are close to even, although black's can come into play quicker. You know, black's got good wing chances here again, but it's still a long way out. Here, black should definitely push if he's trying for a win. Let's see if he does. No, he didn't. Well, this has winning chances too. It isolates white's pawns, but this just gives a pass pawn. And you know, white's pieces on the board are not supporting his 3 pawns over here. And this pawn on d4 is more advanced. And e4 appears to be a threat, followed by d3. But this is playable because it's going to mess up a pawn over here. And it looks like black is winning the pawn. Okay, so I guess we could argue black is winning this game. You know, white's a pawn down. He doesn't seem to have anything for it. Black's ready to double rooks on the 7th rank. Something has gone wrong for white. And I think some of it can trace back to moving that knight to d5 earlier. So black is definitely better. Now it's time to come in here or here. Okay, now it probably has to, if it comes back here, you're going to drop f2. White's in trouble here. And there goes the pawn on a2. Okay, it chose to go this way. Now he gets the pawn on f2, or does he? No, he does. Okay, Black is winning this. You know, he's not only 2 pawns ahead, he's got dominating rooks. I guess 1 pawn is going to fall back.
Check.
But, I mean, this is highly in Black's favor. Okay, so let's think about this. The knight is tied down guarding this pawn. The rook is tied down guarding this pawn. This rook is free to roam. How does Black make progress here? Well, one idea is to shove this pawn up to h4 and then try to get the knight into g3. Then there could be a lot of serious mating threats in here. Let's see how it goes. Well, that rook was fine there. There's no need to move it. Let's play my move. Now, what's White going to do? We don't know. Let's see. Let's go after the pawn. Black decides, well, you can have it. But because I'm going to drop my knight in here. Or am I? Yeah, I am. We're just making random moves. This is coming. That's a start. Or maybe we want to go here and hit this. So White's got a pass pawn. Let's get it going.
Check. Check. Check.
Okay, so let's see. Let's go attack the knight, gain a tempo. Now, even though this pawn is advanced, I think Black is doing well here because he has the 3 connected pawns. Black will go behind the pawn. Now, unless White can use his knight in here effectively, and he better hurry up and do it. Let's see. We've got to get the knight to b5 so we can free the rook. But meanwhile, here comes counterplay. Now look at that.
Checkmate.
You know. Now none of this was forced, but I'm kind of giving an idea. I think Black is winning this. But now wait a minute. What's he doing? What's wrong with taking this? Oh, this move? Well, now we go here. No, he didn't. Now, Black's rook is still better, but you know, White's still fighting for the draw here. One thing White has going for him is he's ahead on the clock. That pawn is the target. Looks like that pawn's a goner. Here, maybe? There. Targeting here. Take it. Doesn't want it. Okay, now the pawns are on one side of the board. But Black can still play this out. White has to prove he can draw. Counterplay. Okay, could have Black have avoided that?
Check. Check.
Let's see. Well, that's going to surrender this pawn. And I think it becomes a draw here. We took that one. Yeah, this is just a dead draw now. can play for the win.
Check.
Now, just a few moves ago, black had rooks doubled on the 7th rank. And his king was shut off. And as the pawns come off, the draw increases. There goes the last pawn.
Check. Check.
Ooh, playing with fire. Okay, let's see.
Check. Check. Check.
Doesn't want the draw. Did you have to advance the pawn? Maybe interfere with this. I still think it's a draw, though. I mean, white could sack his knight for the pawn, and it's a draw.
Check. Check.
Yeah, I think the draw's a legitimate result. But black definitely had the advantage here, and I'm sure he had a strategic win at several places. But, you know, they took their time, okay? You don't see a lot of time on their clocks, so good job with the time. But black definitely had the winning chances there. So, you know, I maintain that knight d5 wasn't good by white. It may have been that even e5 wasn't good by white. Let's go back to 861, back 122. See what happens. I still like this move for black. I mean, it seems anti-positional, but you know, we got to target this. We've got to win this pawn back. You know, we gave it up. That's why black should have played queen a5 earlier. This just says I'm going to be down a pawn. Now he has to guard b2. He doesn't. Does black have a threat here? Yes. Queen takes. So let's just nonchalantly play rook b1. Now here black could play d6, but you know he only has one pawn for the. He only has one pawn compensation. So you know black's position looks safe and solid, but white's just a clear pawn up. So you know knight d5 it looked like it was going to work out, but I don't think it was there. So this is the attack twice. Let's not play e4. Let's develop something. You know, white's got 4 minors out. Black has 3. White's a pawn ahead. You know, white's getting his pieces out. Black won't be infesting his 7th rank. Anyway, let me stop the recording here, and then